Hello, good morning. My name is Sofia. I am a nurse in Serenity, and I'm here today with one of my member and my clients, Paul. And we were just discussing a little bit about his journey in healthcare here in Portugal, and talk a little bit about your experience within the private and the public, because you have this very vast experience since you came. So I would like to, if you could, talk us a little bit about how has it been your journey here.
It's definitely been a journey, and I'm thinking I could do everything myself in the public, and then realizing I needed a lot of help. And that's how I reached out to you, because I realized I needed help in the public and private. And I have specific needs for cancer that I thought I could take care of through my private insurance. Found out that I needed the public system.
Yeah, it's been like I feel that like with you, it's you came with all of this documents and all of this specific conditions, and then you have an insurance, and then you think, okay, this is easy. I just get here and I go to this doctor and all will be solved. And I remember the first time we talked, it was like, oh, I don't know what to do with all of this. And also with the medication, I know that you're having some issues with some of the medication for a very specific one, and some of the doctors don't want to continue here in Portugal, and this has also been a struggle for us, right?
Yeah, the being allergic to statin drugs gives me only one medication in the US. I was able to use an injectable that I would do every 2 weeks, and we've been struggling to procure it here. It's very expensive and only available in the public system. And I've had a very interesting experience dealing with the public doctor, getting everything from I don't believe you to prove it to me to it's not possible to maybe it's possible to maybe we'll see. So
we're at the stage. We're at the stage of okay, maybe you're right, and let's see if we can get the authorization, because that specific medication needs to be authorized and all of that. So we're at that stage right now, right?
Yeah, evidently it has to go to a committee.
Yeah, it has to go to the committee, and you have to prove since you were born how much that you really need those medications, right? But we're on the right track, right?
We're on the right track. It's just a matter of they want several tests over several months to see some track record in the public system. So now I'm doing, the time.
A time. Yeah, I think so. But I think it's also important that a lot of this, and I would love that they would be very quickly, but I understand, and it can be a little bit frustrating for you on that side, but it takes a little bit longer than we expect, right? Or that you were imagining in your head it would take.
Yeah, I thought it would just be showing that I took it, and that I proved with the doctor's orders showing that I'm allergic to statins and I have all these other problems, that it would be an easy thing, but not so much. It's a new drug here.
Yeah.
So that's part of the problem.
And it's fully comparticipated, so it's something that you really need to prove, and they also need to prove that it's something that you actually cannot do without, right? Yeah. So I think this is also the struggle, and it's important when we understand that even when you bring all of those documents and all of those things, a lot of times you still have to go through this all again, right?
And it's just understanding that some of the things the doctors say, the phrases don't mean what they think they mean to you. So the I don't believe yous and the prove it's, even though I have all the documents in front of them, become a difficult road to map. Because what do you do with a doctor who says I don't believe you?
Yeah.
When you've got all your documentation, other than keep insisting and pushing gently.
Yeah. So you had that experience that even though people sometimes say, I just speak English, sometimes the difference and the way we say some words that we think that are saying something in fact mean other things for the person that is listening, right? Yeah. And this is also sometimes what I feel, that when people come, and when you came back to me and said, oh, he told me this and this, and I say, okay, let's try this other way around to see if it works. And a lot of times this maneuver works with the doctors here also, right? I think it's very important. I know that you have the experience with Seth. I don't know if you want to share this a little bit, because I think it's very important to explain the situation that happened with you and Seth. I think this can also help in terms of healthcare.
Sure. I'm married to an EU citizen, so for my route to getting residency is Article 15, right of family reunification through the EU. And I knew arriving that I could take a year or two to get my residency card because of delays, because of the Ukraine war and all of these other things that are happening, which was fine. I was perfectly happy to wait because there's a lot to see in Portugal. There's no reason to run around. But I realized that with the cancer medication, I needed to be seen in the public, and you were able to procure a neurodetention for me, but then it wasn't valid because I wasn't a legal resident. So we were able to show that I did have this cancer, and fortunately my doctor was willing to write a note to Seth to say that he needs this number so we can treat him. And then I was able to get an emergency Seth appointment fairly quickly. And it only took 8 days after the appointment to get my residency card. And then we were able to activate where I knew where to attend.
Yeah. And after that, all of the things went more...
Everything fell into place after that, because once I'm able to show my tent and my residency card, then everybody's, oh, okay, you live here now, so we can help you. So it's always that bridge in the middle, waiting to prove to them that you're really a resident.
And you're really here to stay, and you're building your life here. And so I think it's a very important step. And a lot of times also starting this conversation with the doctor saying, I'm not a tourist, I really live here. So this changes also the way that they perceive you. Okay, I don't speak very good Portuguese so far, but I am a resident, I'm here to live, and I'm here to stay in this country, and I need someone to help me with the medical issues, right? Okay. And you have a private insurance also, right?
Yeah, I have Allianz insurance, which is very good, and it takes care of a lot of things, but there's some things it just can't help with. The public system is for cancer, for
those specific medications
that are really expensive that the public has to pay for. And I have to show people I'm not just here to take your medication. We're actually working, paying taxes. We're residents, we were part of the system, and we're not just outsiders trying to take advantage, which I think a few doctors have looked at us that way.
Yeah.
And we have to very quickly point out we're tax residents, we're working, because
if you
not a lot of judgment, but it's there.
You feel sometimes the judgment. In a very resumed way, is your experience been positive when you think about all of the things that happened so far? Is it at the end of the day, do you feel like it's starting to get into place? It's been positive?
Yeah, we're just hitting 9 months here, so it's taken quite a few months to get a lot of these things in motion, but I feel like it's all been positive and it's all been worth it. It's definitely been some running around, trying to get to before I met you, Luz offers a program for international patients where you can write them and say your needs, and they'll match you with doctors for your appropriate symptoms and things that you have. I tried that route first, and I kept getting sent to doctors that I didn't need because they really didn't understand what I was asking for. And that's when we contacted Serenity, because we realized we were hitting our head against the wall sometimes trying to explain what my issues were, and they just had no idea where to send me or what I was saying maybe, so they just plugged me in somewhere.
Yeah. So I think overall, and I can say that, I don't know if I could say that, but overall I think at this point, not everything is solved, but I think it's been positive for you.
Not everything is solved, but we're on the road in the right direction. And so there's a lot of patience involved.
Yeah, but you're also a patient person, so it's helpful when it's like that, right?
Yeah, having the skin cancer issue that's ongoing, I thought it would be much quicker to get into the public system. Even the doctor who I met in private promised to get me in quicker in her public office, which didn't happen. And so it meant many, many more months waiting. So then we went to Champollion to try and to start the process, but then I'm doing jump back and forth between the public and the private to see, because there's treatments in the public system that are paid for that are extremely expensive in the private, even with insurance.
Yeah.
So hopefully actually the doctors, as it's such a small country, actually know each other.
Yeah.
And they worked together in the past, so that ends up, I think, working in my favor.
Yeah, I think so too. So I think we are hoping for a very good outcome, and that everything in a year from now we will all be enjoying other conversations. But I think we're all in a good track, and I think it's been a journey, but also for me a learning journey in helping. A lot of times with your experience, I have been able to also continue to help other people, which I thank you also for that, and for trusting me to help you and be your sidekick on this.
Yeah, it'd be my Portuguese Sherbo for the healthcare.
I think it's good. It's a good thing, and it's been very, very reassuring to be able to give you the right answers, and this is very good. And I thank you for that also.
It's been great for us. I mean, even my husband, who didn't think he needed that much health care, and we got here and things happened. Yeah. So it's ended up being helpful for everybody. Everyone we know who's joined Serenity has had very similar experience that we've had. So we talk to all of our friends. We actually joined through Expacity, which is a forum for expats who are moving to Portugal. And you had done some seminars on Serenity, and we saw that and like, wow, I think we need somebody to hold our hand for certain things, and healthcare is definitely one of them. We're very much do-it-yourself people, but when you're coming to a new culture and a new language and a new healthcare system, having somebody to show you the steps that are normal here is definitely useful.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just listening to the frustration and saying, "I understand. It's normal. We'll try to do it," but it's just someone that you can sometimes say, "This is so frustrating. Is this like this?" And you're like, "Yes." And so at least it gives you that reassuring that, okay, it's something that I have to get used to it, right? It's also frustrating for us here, but it's a process.
Yeah, and I've seen your frustration when you took me to the public system and you're arguing with the nurse, trying to just explain that I followed the procedure. So the same arguments we've had. I followed the procedure. I was told, why isn't this working? And it's nice to see that we're not the only ones who go through these struggles.
Yes.
With having an advocate to stand behind us who actually can talk to them in their own language and explain what's in the way we can't, is so useful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.